Okie dokie.
Okay, so for my standard score, I got 79.
Okay.
For the confidence interval at 90%, I got 75 through 84.
Mm-hmm.
For the percentile rank, I got 8.
Mm-hmm.
For the normal curve equivalence, I got 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I know how to say this word. I don't really know. Stainin? How do you say that?
Stay nine, or it might be how you say it. I don't know either how to pronounce it.
Okay. Well, however you say that, I got a 2.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then I just put an X through the age equivalent and the growth scale.
Perfect. Okay. That's what you were perfectly supposed to do. Okay. And you got all of that right. So good job.
No, I'm very surprised.
But one thing is, well, first of all, I'll just start with how do you think that went?
I think it was a little choppy. I feel like it was very choppy. And I feel like with like the incorrect responses, like I didn't know what to say. So like I know you're supposed to say something, but I didn't know what to say.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect thing for me to go off of because I thought your pace was honestly really good and it didn't sound that choppy. I was going to compliment you on that because it sounded like it was a good pace. You didn't rush me. I didn't feel rushed or anything, so that was good. But I think you might have been going off of the training administration directions instead of the actual
Yeah.
administration because you were giving me the answer if I got it incorrect.
Yes.
So that was only, you only do that for the training items.
Okay.
And
Okay.
which I got correct. And that was good that you went through the training items as well. But it didn't end up affecting your score because then I kind of caught on to it. But I think it affected your ceiling. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it ended up not affecting the like final answer, which is good. So if you want, can you just tell me what you got for like 66, 67, and 68?
Yeah. For 66, I did 3, which was correct.
Uh-huh.
67, 2, which was correct, and 68, 4, which was incorrect.
Okay, so you had incorrect for four.
Yes.
Okay, and then you just kept going, right?
Yes.
Okay, so at that point you need three in a row to get your basal.
Okay.
So it ended up working out, but you would go to 65 from 68. So
Okay.
you would go
Yeah,
to
I think I messed that up when we did that like for our exam in class a couple weeks ago.
yeah, and everyone's different. Like I think the self you go back to the whole other like section before, but this one you go back in sequential order. So you would go 65 if I got that wrong. You'd go to 64. And then
Okay.
from 64 to 62, I had 111.
Okay.
And then 65, I had zero.
Okay. So you have to get the first 3 right, and if you don't, then you work backwards.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. And then so since I got 62 through 64 right, and I had already answered 65 wrong, you would go back to 69. Does that make sense? You would just, since I
Yes.
got the
Because you left
basal,
off at 68.
yes, yep,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, that
just so
makes a
you
lot more
know.
sense.
But I think, and when I was looking for the directions and going through them, it was kind of tricky because if you click on like administration directions, Form B, it takes you to just the training items.
Yeah, that's definitely what I was reading.
Yeah, because I have both of them pulled up and it doesn't have any directions on this link to the administration directions, which makes sense as to why you didn't know what to say necessarily. But you would only repeat yourself if you thought they weren't like paying attention or you got interrupted
Okay.
or that type of thing. But
Okay.
otherwise, you just keep going since you're not supposed to say anything. Um,
Even with that, like, even if they are correct, like, you're not supposed to say anything.
No, even if they're correct, you can say something. That's the other point I was
Okay.
going to make. And this is hard for me too. It's something I still struggle with. Like we just did this with the self, which I was confident in, but I was saying like good job and that kind of thing. But you're supposed to just say like, I love the way you're working so hard or keep working so hard, keep it up, just neutral comments.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's
So
not giving them like negative or positives. Okay.
yes, exactly. And especially the times like you said, yes, very good. Like I could tell that I got the answer right. So
Yeah.
just things like that you want to avoid, but it's like a
Okay.
habit that you just have to break because it's really hard for me to break because I want
Yeah.
to be like, you're doing so great.
That all makes perfect sense. And thank you for explaining with like the basal and everything, because I did not understand like how that works. Like even off of our last exam, I was very confused.
Yeah, and honestly, you'll just get better with practice and you begin to realize how different each assessment is. Like the self is so different from this, and
Yeah.
those are just like important rules for you to go over, but it will just come with practice. Like the more you do it, the better you'll be. And you ended up getting the right score anyway, so that was good.
I don't know how that happened, but
At least you don't have to redo any of that because I was ready to like sit with you and just go through all of that anyway if it did affect it.
okay.
Um, yeah, and then for the raw score, did you get 102 or was that
Mm,
different?
I got 103.
Yeah, so that would have just been different because um if you would have gone back to 65, I got a 0 on that one.
Okay.
So that's why it would have just been one less.
Okay.
Um,
All right, that makes sense.
yeah, so that's that. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I think you would have been perfectly fine if you just actually like were able to see the administration directions and that kind of thing, because it would have probably gone a little bit quicker just because you wouldn't have had to be like, this answer is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's completely fine. Like I remember it was like super difficult to like remember everything all at once, especially if they're incorrect. You're like, okay.
Yeah, what do we do now?
Yeah, exactly. But no, I think it was good, honestly, and you were like very well paced and I understood everything you were asking of me, which is like the most important thing too.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, no, I thought you did well. I'm trying to think if there's anything I was gonna say. Yeah, because then I started telling you the wrong answer twice just to be sure because there were certain
Mhm.
ones that I didn't want to say the right answer the second time and then you mark it right because I didn't know what you were marking. So I just want to make sure I wasn't messing you up if I accidentally said the right answer the second time.
Okay.
But I think I only did that on 60 and you ended up still making it a 0, which was good.
Okay. Yeah, that
Yeah.
worked out quite nicely.
Yeah, so that was fine. I just was like, oh, I don't know what she's marking. So, no, I think you did really well. That was good.
Thank you.
And I've never administered this assessment, so it was a different one for me
Well,
too.
I thought that we had it at our school, but turns out we only have the 4 and not the 5.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
OMG, Dr. Moore, I actually need it.
Yeah, so then, and that would have probably been, it's always easier to go through like a book instead of, we're using Cube Global,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. And like they didn't explain it at all. So I was kind of running on fumes. Like, I don't know what I'm looking at. That's why I sent you all those forms. I was like, do I need to like print off all of these and like figure out what goes with what? But
Yeah, no,
okay.
it's nerve-wracking. And I remember I did the self through teletherapy and it was like a lot harder than doing it just like in person for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause like, doesn't it have on the back of the book like what you're supposed to say?
Um, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I guess we'll start off with the hard one and
Yeah, you're good. Like that was really good, especially for not like realizing that the training directions were different from the actual like administration directions.
yeah,
But
which makes sense. That makes
yeah,
total sense.
yeah, it would just be easier for you too instead of like repeating yourself so much. So it
Yeah.
was alrighty. Well, you have all the right answers. Is there anything else I can do?
Um,
Any questions?
I don't think right now, because my biggest question was with the basal, like going backwards, but that totally makes so much more sense.
Yeah, and does that make sense to you the way I explained it?
Oh yeah,
Okay, I just want to make sure.
yeah, because you don't count the training ones. You start with like where they actually start at, and if
Yes.
you don't get those first 3, then you start going backwards. Then you
Yeah.
bounce up to where they were. Okay, yeah, that
Yep.
makes
Yep, that's exactly right.
okay. Okay,
Yep. So
yeah,
you're
that
fine.
makes sense.
Are you good then?
I think so. I will
Okay.
email you the recording,
Okay.
and I think I just take pictures of my PPV score
Oh,
and put
yes.
it in.
Thank you for mentioning that. You have to, she said she doesn't want pictures. And
Oh,
you,
and yeah.
yeah, so you would have to, like, when you get to work tomorrow, because it's not due until the 20th, I think. Maybe
I
I'm
think
wrong.
so, yeah.
Yeah. So if you get to work, you can just fax them or scan them to your email, and then I can send you my email if you just want to forward it to me.
Okay. All
So
right,
that
that
way it's
sounds
like a
good.
scanned version, because I think I have to submit yours too.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think. I was like, there's so many directions I was trying to keep up with. But just scan it to me just so I have it and I can turn it in. Because
Okay.
then I think the only thing else we have to turn in is we have those like rubrics. You score me and I score you
Okay.
on that, and we have to turn it in with the recordings, and then we'll be good.
Okay. Okay. All right, sounds
Yes.
good.
Yep. So
And
just
then,
tomorrow, if you do that, that'll be fine. If I can remind you if you forget, which is no big deal.
okay. I'll put it in my planner so I can remember to do it tomorrow.
I'm not good with remembering things. That's why I said it's no big deal. If you forget, I'll just text you.
Yeah, I have to write everything down because if it's not written down, it doesn't get done. So,
Same. And I just found out like that little Outlook feature on your like computer, and I love getting the little notifications on my Mac because I'm like, I'm putting everything in that calendar that actually notifies me.
right. It is. It's so nice.
Yes. All
All right.
right. Well, you did a great job.
Thank you. I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. And just text me if you need anything.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and send this recording over to you so you have it.
Okay, perfect.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. You too. You can relax now.
Yeah, right. All right. See ya.
See ya.